Okay, let's look really quickly at direct and indirect characterization. And this is going to be looking at two different ways that you can learn about any character that's in a story. The first way we're going to look at that is with the direct characterization. And direct characterization is when the author directly tells you who the character is. So they're not going to make you guess at all. They're going to tell you what they want you to think about them. So in this example, Sarah was always a quiet, well-mannered student. We don't have to guess. We know that the author wants us to know that she's quiet and well-mannered. So now you can actually picture this girl sitting in the back of the room based on specifically what the author has told you. On the flip side, we could have indirect characterization, and that's when the author is going to show you who that character is by revealing different things. That can be their appearance, actions, words, thoughts and feelings, or their reactions to things. And all of those things, if you think about it, those are all things that you notice in people when you're going around day to day with them that help you to know a little bit about them, because we don't have an author telling us what to believe about somebody. So this is really what you do day to day when you're choosing friends or learning more about your teachers. But this is when the author is making you use your imagination. So here's this example. Sarah sat obediently behind her desk, only speaking when the teacher called on her. We can assume, based upon what we're told here, that she is that same student that we saw just a minute ago that was quiet and well-mannered, based upon these actions. The more we learn, there might be other reasons for this, but that would be our assumption through indirect characterization at this point. The way that you're going to figure out indirect characterization is by looking at a few different things. And you can remember that with this acronym STEAL. First of all, there's speech. So what does the character say, or how do they speak? Are they speaking in a fast tone? Does that mean something about them? Are they speaking angrily or with a sad voice? All that can tell you a little bit about who they are, or even just what it is that they are saying. If they're using vulgar language, or if they're using very polite words. Their thoughts. When you can see inside their thoughts, you can start to understand a little bit more about them. A lot of the times you'll see this in monologues and plays. So you'll be looking at what they're thinking and what they're feeling to help you to understand who they are better. The effect on others toward the character. So what is revealed through the way the character affects the other people? How do they feel? How do other characters feel or behave in reaction to that person? And again, that can let you know a lot about people that the author is writing about. Next, we can look at their actions. So what do they do? And how does the character behave? So again, if we look back at that student who never talked unless their hand was raised or unless they were called upon, you can start to get a picture of who that is versus if that character was somebody who shouted out all the time. Finally, looks. What does the character look like? How do they dress? Because again, those are things that can tell us a little bit more about somebody. So this is all, think about this as things that you think about day to day and the people you run into. And when you have to do that digging and that investigating, it is an indirect characterization versus a direct characterization where we're given those adjectives that the author wants us to believe about the character.